Hello, everyone. This is Althea Gray, and I've been a healer for more than 20 years, and I am the founder of the Master Professional Clearest course and methodology. So, today we are going to talk about curses and spells. And I know it sounds like something out of a Hollywood movie, but it is still alive and well, and many people are doing this all over the world. You look at Amazon, and there are loads and loads of books on how to create spells. So, yes, spells and curses do exist, and um, and many cultures all over the world employed the use of curses and spells for many reasons. So let's go back and look at the history a little bit. Um, Once I had a bleed through, I could remember myself as a special priest in Egypt where I cast spells in the burial sites, in the pyramids, and in the special tombs and in the wrappings of the body to protect the dead. Not to harm the dead, but to protect the dead. And yes, I believe probably the original use of spells and curses was about protection. And yes, even today, I'm concerned about the dead and not being stuck in the earth plane, and and I always want the dead to have safe passage to higher bardos of light. So it's still something that I carry from different lifetimes, my concern about the dead moving on. So let us go back in time. Probably the first evidence of conjured spells and incantations go back to Mesopotamia, Babylon, Samaria, and it was told that the human race was under siege by dark forces from other worlds and that the human race was not safe. So it was a difficult time, much like a difficult time we're experiencing today. So some believe the human race was undergoing a similar battle somewhere, probably in some other worlds and undetermined worlds that where they were warring with each other and probably wanting to claim the human race. So, filmmakers and film writers often have an uncanny way of tapping into these unseen scenarios that are occurring in other places. So, if you think Star Wars is not real on some other level, it probably is. Well, at least I think so. So, history books have also hinted at ancient writings that talk about these other galactic worlds. Well, what does this have to do with curses and spells? Well, during the time of Mesopotamia and before the Christian Christ birth, priests called magi's, and I believe the word magic probably comes from this, and they were adepts at the subtle worlds, how to manipulate and go in and out of the subtle worlds. And it was the Magi's, believe it or not, that created ceremonies, prayers, mantras, yoga. Yes, yoga, sacred geometry using the body, the physical body, breath work, the science of sound current, all were developed by the Magi's. And the Magi's understood the composition of creation and knew how to manipulate it. We only understand today a tiny bit of it. So much of this knowledge has been lost. And there's certain cultures that have maintained some of this understanding, but we don't quite understand how to use it on so many different levels. So if you recall, it was the Magi's who brought special gifts to the Christ child. Some of you think of the Magi's as the three kings. I personally believe I was a magi, and I think that some of my students and graduates are ancient magi still here protecting the human race from the unseen world. So, what was the original intention of spells? Well, I believe the original intention was protection. And there's a science behind making them. They are potent and they certainly can last from one lifetime to another. And certainly, excavators, tombs in Egypt found sometimes they unearthed something that affected all of their lives. And so it can last for lifetimes. So, how did the use of spells go bad? Well, different time, different place, but the human being is essentially probably still has the same difficulties or same things to overcome. And as mankind developed ways to trade goods, as they developed this feeling of ownership and dominion, they started to use these special priests for their own purposes. If you want to know how certain beings entered this world, human beings invited them, either for to protect themselves from an enemy or to do human biddings. So we have to take some responsibility for some of this stuff that's out here that we've bought in. The thing is that no one ever thought of sending these dark beings back to their realms when they were done. So a lot of them have been left here for, hundreds and hundreds of years. So today, people are still misusing spells. They are using them to punish or control the behaviors of others. And there's a benign use of spells. What do you think when you pray and you light candles and you have focused meditations with an intention? You are, in essence, using the science of spell making. You're bringing into creation a focused intention. Today, sadly, Amazon is loaded with books on conjuring spells and curses and enchantments for not the best uses. Some people think it's okay to create a love spell on another person, manipulating their behavior in some way. And of course, there's always a price for that. People are doing these things not understanding the profound consequences that could last for lifetimes. So, in my professional clearest course, we look at and explore spell making and conjuring from different cultures all over the world. And yes, the science of spell making is a worldwide phenomenon. So I'm going to show you this gigantic book, the Book of Magic by the Golden Dawn Society. And they have even ways in this book to enter the fairy realm. Everything you can imagine is in this book, but this book can be repeated in so many parts of the world. It seems that so many cultures have a book on magic or spell making or how to get rid of something or to bring in something maybe not so wonderful. So the cultures all over the world, even today, are still actively using sigils and amulets to protect themselves against what today they call the evil eye. And Italians call it the malaocchio. So some people you've seen the hand of Fatima, you've seen these beautiful eye symbols in Turkey and in the Middle East. So this is still this belief that curses and spells can be placed on people is still very active in many parts of the world, and people actually don't really know how to thoroughly get rid of them. So, as professional clearers, I teach how to undo spells and family curses and personal curses. And I teach how they can be hidden in a lot of different dimensions. So, people who are adept at spell making often hide them into different dimensions so that an unadept person cannot find them. So, my professional clearers are taught to clear them from this lifetime and other lifetimes. And yes, they can travel in a family line for a very long time. And of course, many think that, for example, the Kennedy family is under a family curse. So, and there are many families all over the world that may be under this kind of influence. So, my students, I teach them how to undo these, how to look at them, and undo them in a safe way, and easily from their desk. So, safety and ethics. We never enter the energy field of someone else without their permission. We emphasize this over and over in my classes. So we never enter someone's private space without their permission. So our work is impeccable, and this whole subject of spells and curses is is alive and well. It's not something just in a movie, and they do affect people's lives. Now, I want to make another note here. Are all spells and curses conjured? No, we can actually create the same energetic effect by intentionally focusing negative thoughts towards another person over and over and over. And you literally, just like a prayer, you are literally enchanting the person and creating an energetic that is similar to a spell or curse. And a spell that's in someone's life for a long time will start to affect their environment, how they live, how they think, and how they work in life. So it's important. It's not something we should forget. It's still active, and you can go on Amazon and see how active it is. So thank you for listening to me today. It's an interesting topic. I could talk probably weeks on this, especially the how this is looked at in so many different cultures. But we cover this in my professional clearers course, because graduates become experts when they have completed the course. They are very knowledgeable about this world and so many other things that have to do with the unseen world. Bye for now. See you next Monday.